Okay, it says that we are, which is good, if true. Big if true. If not, I don't know. Okay, and we also have to go live on TikTok as well, hopefully. Please work. Yay, it's working. All right. Amazing. Wonderful. 10 out of 10. Perfect. Matrix solution. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Okay. If you are on YouTube, you must be seeing the map of Ukraine and also me in the corner. And then it means everything is working. So yeah, please let me know if you do. And hello, TikTok. Hello to everybody. How are you doing? Are we working? Is everything okay? Yay! Good afternoon. Hello. Good to see you, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you all. We're also live on YouTube. A reminder, but I think at this point we currently have as many people on YouTube as we have on TikTok. So, how about that? Hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. If you're seeing the map, that means everything is going according to my plan. Thank you, Colleen. Hi, everybody. Hi. Good to see you all. Sorry for missing on Monday. We've been having... I've been telling you before that we're having this weird summer of thunderstorms and God knows what, and also we've already had some internet issues and some of them are very questionable. I have a lot of questions to my internet provider that I'm too afraid to ask at this point, but anyway, so the connection, yeah, whenever there's a thunderstorm it just all goes a little bit wonky, so don't be surprised if I disappear for a while. But those of you who are on Instagram, you must have seen my message with an image of my absolutely petrified dog named Bouillon, who is horrified of thunderstorms and whom I have been trying to comfort on Monday. So, yeah. But we are here today, mostly observing Trump, I know. Apologies in advance, because they have just had a conversation with Zelensky right after the American conversation with Putin, and we're waiting for the results of that. The most recent thing that has been announced to us is that on Friday the US is going to announce the secondary sanctions, that the long promised and the long teased secondary sanctions that mostly target India. But for a reason. That's Chewy, everybody freaking out. Chewy doesn't like the secondary sanctions, I guess. Perhaps we have... That's my mom going, shh. I think we just found the actual secret beneficiary of Russia's war in Ukraine. That's actually Chewy, everyone. Anyway, so on Friday we're supposed to see some real action in terms of the secondary sanctions. And I really like how this was announced. So first they're saying, okay, the secondary sanctions on Friday the 8th, and the White House has also pointed out that the meeting of Witkoff and Putin was successful. How successful was it, actually, if that's the result? Alright, yeah, and you can see the image of them. Witkoff is so excited to see all of these horrible Russian people. It should be illegal. If you are on YouTube right now, you're seeing this. Just, he is almost giddy. The man is glowing. He is a weird red color, and before that he was also excited to meet with other... Who else was he meeting with? But he's constantly meeting with some horrible Russian people. Right, exactly. Can someone tell Chewy that this is what we want? Hi, Josh. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Trump fire statistics chief after data showed the terrorists are hitting the US. If you fire everyone, then the reality is going to change. and warp in accordance with what you want. Didn't you know? This is how the universe works in 2025. So yeah, this is Witkoff almost making out with Putin. Ew, we don't like that. But I think the most interesting part, at least for now, to me, is the result of Trump's conversation with Zelensky, because they just talked. Perhaps we're going to hear about it in Zelensky's daily vlog that he posts every single day, sometimes several times a day. It's every day, bro, with the Disney Channel flow. So yeah, we'll have to wait for that. Very interesting what he's gonna say. Brandy says he makes me sick. Success one that he actually showed up this time. Right, there are so many different definitions of success these days. I know. It's really hard to say what exactly they mean. Hi, Maddie. Good to see you. Good to see you, everybody. Yeah, we're already discussing the bizarre Trump, Witkoff, Putin, everything situation. But basically, to kind of sum it all up, what has been happening? Everybody knew for the last several days, at least here, we've been known that something big is about to happen, right? So everybody knew that on the 8th and on the 9th, something major is going to be announced. And also we are, as always, we're expecting some Russians to do something horrible, maybe another massive shelling, whatever, nuke us. No one's going to be surprised. So everyone was just kind of sort of following these meetings, thinking, okay, what's going to happen? And so the only thing that we have heard so far is that, okay, yeah, there's going to be secondary sanctions that Trump has teased before, like the next season of some messed up TV show. And also there was a weird remark about the, like, potentially dropping the prices of oil for $10 per barrel, but this is according to, it could be one of his little, you know the little things that he does when he goes on a tangent and he just says a bunch of things. So thank you. Good to see you, everybody. It could be that, so I'm not really buying that. The only thing that we have actually seen so far is the infamous secondary tariffs. What else have they said? Russia says Putin conveyed signals on Ukraine at Witkoff talks, whatever that means, probably nothing. So yeah, they exchanged signals with Donald Trump. Ooh, I don't like how this sounds. Okay, they exchanged signals. Alright, on our part in particular, some signals were okay. Cool. The Russian president's foreign policy aide told reporters without elaborating. Corresponding signals were also received from Trump. The meeting took place, 2 days before the deadline, which is on August 8th, as we all remember, that Trump set for Russia to reach a truce. Okay. And we're still waiting anything else to come out of this, except for the additional fresh 25% tariff on India over Russian oil purchases. Which is, we've already discussed that this was the move that he has been considering. US President Donald Trump imposed an additional 25% tariff on Indian goods over its ongoing purchase of Russian energy, escalating a fight with a key Asian partner. Trump signed an executive order setting the new rate. The White House said Wednesday, which will stack on top of a 25% levy on Indian imports he announced last week. So, yeah, that's... if it's actually implemented, which is, it's another massive question mark whether or not it's actually going to be implemented, then yeah, that's pretty massive. But you never know with these people, you know. You never really know with these people, unfortunately. Hello everybody. We're also live on YouTube, just to remind everyone. Yeah, sometimes he just says, stop it. Yeah, he's so random, right? He's so weird, he's so quirky, such a diva. He was wandering around on the roof of the White House, yes. Yeah, it made news here as well. It's one of those things that you just see and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure, alright, he's on the roof of the White House going for a walk. Cool, moving on. Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. Signal being the app Hexat leaked war plans from Made Me Hear exchange signal. Oh, okay, right, like they were sliding into each other's DMs. Exactly that. Thank you, Maddie. Yay, thank you so much, appreciate it. Thank you for the support. You guys are too kind to me. I don't deserve it. So anyway, we've had this, right? So this is what we're currently discussing. Thank you. Whenever we are talking these secondary sanctions, for now it's all the stuff involving India, and interestingly enough, India has already decided to respond in a very interesting way. India's Modi announced that he's going to visit China for the first time in 7 years as tensions with the US rise, which is very ironic if you know anything about how, tense the relationship between China and India is. Who could potentially fix it? Well, okay, if I'm being realistic, no one can. But yeah, this is the response to all of the tariffs from Trump. So yeah, Indian PM is going to visit China, first time in over 7 years. Talking about signals, now that's a signal, huh? Yeah, and also of course they have their national security advisor visiting Russia, but I don't think that's new information at all. So yeah, interesting stuff happening. Oh, thank you so much, Milda. Thank you. I know, so quirky, so silly, such a goofball. Hi, Carolyn. Good to see you all, everybody. So yeah, speaking of signals, we're gonna have a massive signal from India, and of course it's gonna involve China, because that's how we roll apparently. It's so funny to see this happening, honestly. But all right, honestly, I wouldn't call it a catastrophe. I know a lot of people are very quick, to jump to conclusions. Leave it to Trump, to fix the relationship between India and China and turn them into allies. It kind of reminds me of how. Thank you. What was it? When was it? A couple months ago, when there was some sort of meeting between like a Chinese official, a Japanese official, and South Korean official, and everyone started freaking out. And there were like some diplomats, right? I don't think it wasn't even anything big. Everyone's like, oh, "This is it. Trump is gonna turn China and South Korea and Japan into allies." No, of course he wouldn't. Some things just cannot be fixed at all, and I'm afraid this is one of those things. But yeah, it's about signals being sent, and yeah, I guess Modi thought, okay, what can we do to hurt them? We're gonna go on a date with Xi. Eat that. So yeah, I don't think this article says anything else that is interesting. Yeah, from. Because obviously I've already read it and I have forgotten half of it, but sorry everyone. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. While we were on the topic of signals, Trump word salad best served. Oh yeah, best served with Epstein Island dressing. I know. Wouldn't that be great, huh? I wonder what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen with that? We'll see. Yeah, I know it keeps growing. I started thinking about getting a haircut. Maybe I will eventually. Good to see you too. Everybody. How are you doing? India is just, I wouldn't say that they're playing both sides. China is not the type of relationship that they could play it both sides with. It's not really. The disagreements go too deep, I feel like. But yeah, it's all about the diplomatic signals, which is very annoying. Thank you, Maddie. Very annoying mean girls type situation. So thank you for the support and thank you for tapping. Apparently it helps boost the live. Hi, Megan. Good to see you. And thank you for sharing the live as well. All of these apps, they're very sensitive to any types of activity. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right. We're still waiting for the results of Trump's conversation with Zelensky. Oh God. Okay, we have a post. We have a truth, everybody. Alert to the church elders. Okay. Donald Trump and Truth Social. My special envoy, Steve Witkoff, just had a highly productive meeting with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Great progress was made. Afterwards, I updated some of our European allies. Everyone agrees this war must come to a close, and we will work towards that in the days and weeks to come. Thank you for your attention to this matter. This is nothing. You just said nothing. Okay. I guess the only thing that's left for us is to wait for Zelensky to spill the tea, because he still hasn't posted his daily vlog. So maybe he will, give us some deets of what has happened. But this truth, yeah, not a very truthful one. 3 truth socials out of 10, everybody. Not impressed. Not impressed. Not enough details. Not enough yelling. Where's the caps lock? Where's the MAGA? No. I don't like that. This is disrespectful to all of us collectively. All right. We have had, of course, some horrible days here. While I wasn't streaming, nothing unfortunately has changed. We continued having some shellings and some attacks. Last time when we were live, we discussed that the Russians are not giving up on their idea to take over all of the Ukraine, and in particular the Ukrainian south. And recently some of their attacks in the city of Kherson. Thank you, Glenn. Let me remind you where Kherson is, everybody, in the Ukrainian south, the liberated city that is under daily strikes and the daily shellings, FPV strikes, human safaris, you name it. They have seen a very bizarre to some, and perhaps not as bizarre, escalation in the shelling. So the Russians have hit an island. So as you can see, Kherson has all of these islands, right? Because this is Dnipro River right here. And there are all of these different islands on the river Dnipro. And so this, what you're seeing right now, this is the Russian aviation strike over a bridge in Kherson. And this is not the first one. And this is while we're on the topic of the, potential escalation in the south. Not the first attempt to destroy the bridge, right? To cut off the island, the Korabel Island neighborhood, and it has been the most successful one yet. You can see the result. Unfortunately, you can see a gigantic hole in the bridge. And yeah, to those of you, I think this is a better map, right? So this is the area that they're targeting, clearly trying to cut off this area, right, from the rest, because this would allow them to cut off the logistics. So clearly they're not leaving the idea of obviously coming back and taking back what Putin believes is rightfully his, which is the city of Kherson and the rest of it, the oblast, and ultimately the rest of the country. Just something. A lot of the people, we occasionally get people in the chat who are unhappy with me not talking enough about Kherson. Well, unfortunately, whenever I talk about Kherson, it's something awful. Every single time it's something awful. This time it's the strikes trying to separate this poor neighborhood from the rest of the city, because of course. All right. This is the image from the same occasion, the same strike. I like it when they post images like this. Unfortunately, these days we have more and more unblurred images. It's best when they're blurred. It's best when, the enemy doesn't get the direct confirmation of what they have hit. But at the same time, we have these pictures, right, nice and blurred. And then also I just showed you like strike in 4K. So I guess we'll never learn, unfortunately. So yeah, that's just the sad situation in the south. This is Trump. Christ. We also had Reuters reporting on an interesting alleged information coming from the Kremlin, with Putin doubting potency of Trump's ultimatum to end the war, according to the sources, which I think by this point in time we were able to tell that he doubts. So yeah, this article says that Russian president is unlikely to bow to sanctions ultimatum expiring this Friday from US President Donald Trump. No way! What? I thought he was... No! What do you mean the tariffs aren't working? And retains the goal of capturing 4 regions of Ukraine in their entirety. 4 regions. Yeah, right. Sure. 4 regions only. Sources close to the Kremlin told Reuters. Trump has threatened to hit Russia. Okay, we already know that. Thank you, KMAC. Thank you. Thank you for the support, everybody. We already we've already discussed what the secondary sanctions entail. Currently, we're talking tariffs. Mostly, it's the countries that buy stuff from Russia, countries that buy oil, and right now it's India's turn to receive a punch. Oops, thank you, Josh. Oh, this is adorable. I'm like a K-pop idol. Thank you. It's India's turn to be a punching bag for now. So, yeah, but there is this idea that perhaps it's not gonna work. And as we have so you see, whenever there is an article like this emerging, this politician says something, like in this case, Putin, the Kremlin says something, they doubt something. In our case, it's not just a vague statement. We immediately receive a confirmation. Thank you, Cindy. A confirmation on the ground, a confirmation in their actions, a confirmation in their strikes, a confirmation in their troops' advancement. So you immediately say, yep, he clearly does doubt potency of Trump's ultimatum. Look at them just striking this poor bridge in Kherson, trying to cut off parts of the city and cut off the logistics in the city. And also last time, remember, we were discussing that they're also striking the roads connecting Mykolaiv to Kherson in the south. So they're actively planning a staging area for the potential further invasion of the south. So yeah, of course they're doubting. Clearly, it's not just some sort of vague statement. It's literally the actions on the ground. It's what they're doing. Christ. Okay. Another thing that's supposed to happen in the upcoming days in relations to this secondary sanctions and tougher measures and we're supposed to receive the first package of weapons under this new scheme that Trump has envisioned, that came to him in a dream, that pretty soon in the upcoming weeks we will be receiving these weapons purchased through NATO. We've already discussed how funny the entire concept is, but anyway, it's called Pearl. I don't know what's up with the US and these acronyms everywhere, but okay. Why not? And it's as in like purring, P-U-R-L. All right, Purl, we would read it. So this is prioritized Ukraine requirements list. All right. And it's what we have discussed before. It's basically the plan that Trump has announced. Is like, okay, we're not going to give them aid anymore. NATO is going to buy... They said that it's the Europeans that were going to buy... Hi, Dave. Good to see you. The Europeans who were going to buy the weapons. Then we figured out, it's actually the NATO countries. And you know who else is in the NATO? Interesting. All right. Anyway, so the NATO is going to buy those weapons from the United States. And yeah, it's the Pearl Initiative, and it's going to happen in the upcoming weeks. All right. Okay, cool, I guess. Thank you. I mean, this is wonderful, obviously. At this point, it's really hard to believe when something like this happens. Because, knowing the tendencies and the trends that we have seen in the recent weeks, it might as well just be cancelled tomorrow, because Pete Hegseth messaged someone on Signal that, let's cancel this initiative. But if it does actually work, this is going to be incredible, actually. Good evening. Hello, everybody. We're also live on YouTube, to those of you who do not know. If you would like to join us on YouTube, I would really appreciate it if you did. I know about Kherson. He didn't end the war in 24 hours? Surprise, Pikachu. Who could have thought? No. Oh, no. Hello, everybody. Let me see what you guys are saying. Good evening. We're already discussing all the horrible things that happened. They tried to destroy the dam. There were so many dams that were either destroyed or attempted to be destroyed in all of the recent years. So perhaps yes. All right. I don't think Americans know where Ukraine are. Well, Americans in our chat do know. We have some pretty cool Americans here in this chat, and they know where Ukraine is, and many of them know our regions even, and major cities. But on average, yeah, I think more know where Russia is, obviously, because, well, first of all, Russia is pretty hard to miss if you look on the map. And also, yeah, it makes sure that no one ever forgets about its existence. Anyways, I hope we're excited about the Pearl initiative, everybody. Unless it gets cancelled in the upcoming hours. Who knows? Thank you for watching. And thank you, Wen. Hello. Hello, Colorado. Josh says, wish we were a bigger part of the population. I mean, it's still good enough, you know, I'll take it. There was a time when no one just knew anything, you know, when I would talk about Crimea to Europeans, mind you, who are much closer to us and supposed to know. I mean, in theory, I guess. There were so many people confused, like, what? Who? Where? What? Yeah, just complete and utter misunderstanding. So I think, yeah, in terms of knowledge and in terms of visibility, unfortunately, the bittersweet, I guess, effect of this war is that more people now know what Ukraine is, for better or for worse. Some good people know more about Ukraine. Candace Owens also knows what Ukraine is, and so does Tucker Carlson. And boy, do they have a lot of opinions about everything that's happening here. Ethnically cleansed imaginary Christians and satanic biolabs and Soros psyops, you know, the good stuff. Hello everybody. Thank you for joining. We're just discussing the Pearl Initiative, which is the name of, basically the new name for aid for Ukraine. We're now calling it Pearl because make America great again, I think. Alright, let's see. Did Zelensky post his little vloggy vlog? No, nothing yet. I'm waiting for him to post the results of his conversation with Trump, because Trump already truthed just a whole bunch of nothing, and now we're expecting something from Zelensky. Hopefully he will spill the tea and give us some extra information on the situation. I have some horrible stuff from Dnipropetrovska Oblast. 2 people died in the artillery shellings in Nikopol. Oh, Jesus Christ. And today, throughout the day, there were a total of 7 attacks. 70! Oh my god, 70 attacks all across the Dnipropetrovska Oblast. It's artillery, it's FPV drones, and yeah, there were already several casualties. So there was a 65-year-old woman who was killed, and now we also learned about 2 more people. And yeah, just awful stuff. More burned buildings, destroyed. Oh, yeah. Oi. Let me show you guys where Nikopol is. No. Nikopol. We have 2 Nikopols. Wow, I didn't know. As you can see, it's pretty much at the front, right? So this is Nikopol in Dnipropetrovska Oblast, and this is the territory occupied by the Russians. So, which is why you have the FPVs and you have the artillery reaching the city pretty easily. All right. Okay. It's just so nice that you knew where Ukraine was. Obviously, there were people. Some of you knew about us since the day we were born. I was young but still very upset, even when 2014 invasion happened. Oh, this is very nice. Thank you. This is very heartwarming. I appreciate it, Scrunch. Maddie says, yes, we do have geographical knowledge, even in America. Of course you do. Of course you do. Any attacks into Russia or Crimea? Yes, thank you for asking. We had a strike near my hometown. So the fact that I'm happy about stuff like that, oh my god. If you would have told me years ago that this is the stuff that I would be like, look at that. First of all, I would be horrified at the notion that my hometown is being used as a military base. I wouldn't even believe it, because why would someone even do that? What, Russia's gonna occupy us and use us as a military base? No, they would never do that. Why would they do it? This is not It makes no sense. Okay, anyway. So there was a strike at this little town called Saki, which has an aerodrome that used to be inactive in the days of my childhood, but it was pretty active in the Soviet times, because of course, guess who built it in the first place? It was the Soviet Union. Let me show you where Saki is. I don't even have to Google it, because it's very close to my hometown. So this is my hometown, Yevpatoria, in the Western Crimea. Here, when you travel to Yevpatoria, to and from Yevpatoria, you pass through a bunch of salty lakes, and then you end up in Saki. It's right here. It's named after an ancient tribe that founded it. So, and right here, there's also an aerodrome. This aerodrome, before it was closed down, it was actually used before the Yalta Conference. Remember when all of these wonderful leaders met in Yalta? Yeah. Let me show you the infamous picture. Well, infamous, famous. Yalta Conference. Where the big three, Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin. This is them. So when they were arriving at Yalta, meaning Churchill and Roosevelt, I think. I'm not sure about Stalin. I don't know. Maybe he swam there on his mustache. They actually flew into Saki Aerodrome. And up until very recently, that was the the only thing that Saki Aerodrome had going for it. Then it wasn't used, and then Russia came and was like, okay, we're gonna occupy Crimea and we're gonna use it as our military base. And now Saki Aerodrome is used to host a bunch of Russian fighter jets, because sure, why not? And so a couple days ago, SBU announced that their drones have destroyed 5 of the Russian, hit 5 of the Russian planes that were positioned in this particular aerodrome in Saki in Crimea. The drones CSOA. This is not a cute name. Now, come on. When you name your drone Sea Baby, I like this. What is CSOA? This makes no sense. Anyway. CSOA hit the planes, and also a storage of ammunition, which is also always good. And we have seen strikes on this particular base before. We have seen pretty massive ones at that. I think the first strike on the occupied Crimea was actually there. Yes, it was. I remember it because it was on my mom's birthday and she didn't even believe it. It was back in 2022, and it was this massive hit, massive explosion. And anyway, but this particular time, so we've already talked, the ammo storage, 1 Su-30 was fully destroyed, 1 more was damaged, and also 3 Su-24 were also damaged. So that's interesting. And there was also another strike on the oil depot. This was from August 2nd, so a couple days ago. There was actually explosions in several regions, but this one, I think, was the one that made it into some of the headlines in Novokuybышevsk in Samara. We're not gonna discuss where that is. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, somewhere in Russia. And yeah, it's burning. So we're back to hitting the oil depots. Because whenever there are talks, whenever there are any sort of diplomatic conversations, whatever, the actual talks are happening in the background. This is the actual talks. Russians hitting our bridges and indicating that they're intending to capture all of our south. Us hitting Putin's wallet, which is the Russian, NPZ, the oil depots and, the related infrastructure. This is the actual talks. Everything else that's happening with the politicians calling each other, like, hello, Vladimir, hello, Volodymyr, hello, Donald, like all of the... It's just, just a facade. This is Penza, and this was the Elektropribor is the name of this factory, apparently connected to the Russian military-industrial complex. Is this just a drone flying, or are we going to see the strike?
Конечно,
Папалашка, конечно. Yep, okay, it's falling. And are we going to see the boom? Yes. Yep. That was the strike on a factory in Penza. I've actually been to Penza, fun fact. I'm probably the only person you know who has been to Penza, everybody. Is there anything to do in Penza? Perhaps, you can always strike an Elektropribor factory, I guess, if you haven't. But no, aside from that, not much. Kate says, I admit I only knew the geography and not Ukrainian history until my son went to serve in Twin. Well, thank you so much to your son for his service, Kate. A great motivator to educate myself. I can't imagine, of course. Thank you so much. Yalta, yes, very interesting. I know, right? And they did. This was a fun random fact of the day that they all flew in through Saki. Anyway, so this was Penza. Let me just see what... Are you still in Ukraine? Yeah, for now I am. We'll see for how long. I don't know for how long, but for now I am here. Talking to you guys about Penza. Places I have been to inside that federation of theirs. Yeah, I know. Let me try and catch up. Okay, I don't think I have missed much. If I have, you guys will let me know. Hi, Sammy. Good to see you. My grandmother, says Furman. Oh, thank you, Santa. Christmas came early. My grandmother's parents came during the Odessa pogrom. Right, I think this is what... I know several people with similar story, whose families had to flee after the pogroms, or any other type of violence that unfortunately used to be and still is common, depending on the type of violence in these areas. Just thankfully we no longer have the pogroms, but yeah, now we have the missile strikes insteed. But yeah, this is a pretty common story, I think. For this is, I think this is also Penza. No, this is Ryazan. Okay. Thank you. This is Ryazan, everybody. Again, another place that probably means nothing to you. I haven't been to Ryazan either, so it means nothing to me as well. And yeah, this is another oil depot. So remember, right? This is the real talks. What you're seeing right now on your screens, all of the stuff burning, this is the real talks. The politicians are just wrapping things up, signing off the papers. The real stuff is, yeah, it's that. Okay, Zelensky, where's your vlog? Aha. There he, oh, look at him posing with his iPhone. Okay, he is telling us, okay, that he talked to Trump on his way back from Sumy, Sumska Oblast. He was just in Sumska Oblast visiting the soldiers there. And this is the talk that happened after Trump's envoy Steven Witkoff's visit to Moscow. Our position with partners is absolutely clear. War must be stopped, and it needs to be an honest ending. He's already said that before. There were also European leaders present during the conversation. Okay, Trump didn't say anything about the European leaders. He only said, I think, that they notified the European leaders. Anyway, and I'm grateful to each and every one of them. We discussed what was said out loud in Moscow. Ukraine will defend its independence. We all need the lasting peace. Russia must finish the war that it has started. Thank you to everyone who supports Ukraine. Okay, also super vague. Not particularly clear. This is one of our main news sources. And so this is the first one that you're seeing right here. This is the translation of what Trump said. And it has 60 clown reactions and 10 angry reactions. And the Zelensky's one was just posted, and it only has 2 clown reactions and 4 confused reactions. We're gonna see how this is going to change. So yeah, for now it's pretty vague. Hard to say whether or not there's actually any hope for anything signed, any truce. And of course I'm honestly even horrified to imagine, to even say out loud anything about the possibility of a peace deal. because we've already discussed this, right, so many times, and every single time it has been so painful because there was no peace deal, obviously. One of the offers that they have made to Trump, the Russians, meaning regarding the potential truce, whatever, it was the air truce. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you so much. Oh, that's very sweet of you. So Russia, this particular headline from Bloomberg reads, Russia weighs Ukraine air truce offer to Trump, right, without ending war. This was one of the proposals. I'm not entirely sure if I have mentioned this before, but this is an extremely tricky proposal, which sounds really good on paper, right? It means that they will stop the bombings, they will stop the air attacks, they will stop the drone strikes. This is Chewie once again. Why are you always barking at such weird moments? It sounds like she is for the drone strike. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Santa. What was I saying? So it sounds like such a good offer on paper, but if you really think about it, you will immediately understand that this is not really as good as it sounds, because it never is. This will allow for them to obviously get something in return. They're not going to do something like this without getting stuff in return, and this will allow for the war to completely and utterly disappear from the Western eye. And you already know, right? So the Western media and the Western audiences don't really pay as much attention to it anymore as it is, but whenever the conversation arises, it usually happens, you already know it, after a big strike, and big strike in particular on our major cities, right? Whenever there are big strikes, daily big strikes, mind you, on the southern and the eastern cities, it barely makes any news. And also, these are the different types of strikes. So what they mean these days whenever they talk about the air truce is usually the Shahed drones, right? We're going to stop launching the Shahed drones at Kyiv, for instance, right? Which is still very questionable. They can continue doing this online, mind you. But they never talk about the aerial guided bombs that they use for the frontline cities. They do not talk about the FPV drones. They do not talk about the artillery shellings. Artillery shellings, I think in their book, it doesn't even count as anything air related. It's just a shelling, right? So yeah, it's a very dubious offer. And if something like this were to be signed, and obviously this doesn't mean the end of the war, also very important, right? So they're going to continue their advances in the east. So deal with the devil by the sound of it. But yeah, this was one of the possible topics of concession to Trump. Like he cares. Anyway, to try and head off the threat of secondary sanctions, right? Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said the Kremlin considers meetings with the US envoy Witkoff to be very... Okay, this we already talked about that. So yeah, that's on one of the possible scenarios that we might see, because everyone, of course, wants to see some progress. Everyone wants to see maybe a ceasefire, maybe some truce of sorts. It's something that will stop the bloodshed, right? Like all of these people have been talking about for months now, right? Stop the bloodshed, stop the killing, stop the... So perhaps, okay, let's do it. How about we do that? But unfortunately, this was the best thing that was offered, at least from what was leaked into the public access. I guess we'll have to see, huh? About that. Relatively quiet day, right, YouTube gang? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing the air alert map being relatively chill? I wonder if it has to do with talks either, or are we gonna still see a louder night? Oh, thank you, Josh. Now this is something vaguely ancient Greek. Thank you. So yeah, perhaps this could do with talks, because a couple of days ago we had a very loud day with them sending a bunch of daggers, the kinzhaly, our way. The poor Starokostantiniev in Khmelnytskaya Oblast, thank you, suffered again, unfortunately. This is Khmelnytskaya Oblast, everybody. We've already talked about this place before. This is where one of our big airdromes is. Anyway, don't make me laugh when I talk about stuff like very serious, important stuff. Thank you. So yeah, there was that. And whenever there is a dagger strike or potential dagger strike on Ukraine, we all get the air raid alerts across the country, because they're very hard to intercept, and they're considered to be a threat to the entire territory. So whenever it's Shahed flying, You might get an air raid alert in your country or in your region, or you might not. But with daggers, yeah, with the Kinjal, you're gonna hear it, unfortunately. Alright, okay, we're currently looking at the map. Let me see what you're saying. We're also live on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna remind all of you a million times over. And it's linked in my bio, by the way. Thank you. Missed a bunch of stuff. Oh, Josh's great-grandfather also left. Oh my god. This was just awful time. But then again, really, if you look at the history of this region, it's like, when did we not have awful time? Whenever you can just point at a decade of 80th century and something horrible is happening. Cursed lands, I guess. Drama, obsession. Okay, unfortunately, it probably had something to do with Trump. Thank you for stopping by. I'm trying to go live these days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, here and on YouTube too, so that I could show you stuff of various levels of interest. So yeah, you can always join us on there if you feel like it. In the meantime, update on the morale. It's hard to say, honestly. It's hard to generalize, I think, these days. But yeah, it's been not very good, I think. And there are various factors depending, on your own life circumstances. But I think the combination of the fact that there is no end to war in sight, and the mass casualties, and the daily shellings, and also the horrible economic situation, because the inflation and the cost of living crisis here has been just off the charts. We have, on some of our groceries, European prices when our salaries are like 10 times less than the European salaries sometimes. Okay, not 10, no, 5, right? So yeah, I think all of that combined, and also the recent stuff with the government, trying to suppress all of the anti-corruption institutions, and there's been a lot. There's been a lot recently, so all of this combined, I think it doesn't help the morale at all, and we have already started seeing some very disturbing instances across the country, which again, I think we have discussed this in the past, that it was quite predictable that it was going to happen if things were not to change and continue. Or maybe we discussed this on Patreon. I'm not sure. But anyway, we discussed it somewhere. And now we're just seeing the results of the trends that have been ongoing for the last couple of years. All right, okay. So we have talked about the Trump-Zelensky call. We didn't get any deets, but the last couple of days are going to be very interesting. I think next time we're going to go live, which is going to be on the 8th, it's going to be more interesting. We're going to get some more updates, hopefully, on the entire situation, and hopefully we're going to see something better, something more productive, and something that will bring us closer to lasting peace, although I doubt it. I really doubt it, because when I see stuff like this does not scream peace to me at all. In fact, it screams something else entirely. It screams the desire to take over the entire country. Anyway, it was interesting to see. So the mobilization problems that we're facing in this country, and how mishandled mobilization was in Ukraine, recently has been getting some media attention. This was no surprise to anyone who lives here. We've all known that our government just ruined everything, as always, and it took a very special kind of talent to take, the motivation and the desire to protect your home that people had in 2022 and turn it into whatever we're seeing right now. But it's very interesting to see these news being contrasted with stuff like this. Like this headline reads, we're seeing many mobilized individuals from the temporarily occupied territories of Zaporizhia and Kherson fighting in the Russian army, right? This is unfortunately the other side of this coin. We've already talked briefly in the past that this is something that they do. This is one of the reasons why they need the occupied territories in the first place, and that the human resource is just as much of a resource as the rare earths or land or anything else. And we have seen this first with the parts of Donbass that were occupied. We have seen this with Crimeans, and now it's also the people from the territories that were occupied since 2022. The men from those regions are now being recruited into the Russian army. So yeah, there is this. The Russian propaganda likes to use this. All of our mobilization issues, obviously, to their benefit, because most of the times whenever they use something for propaganda, it's much easier to take a pre-existing division, a problem within the country, and then multiply it, right? So this is what they do most of the times. They do it with you guys as well. I think you have noticed whenever there is a whenever there is a successful case of the adversary propaganda, it's usually using the already pre-existing divisions within your society. So you have racial tensions, you have gender tensions, you have tensions, I don't know, with anti-vaxxers or something, and boom, look who's here wiggling their way in. It's Vladimir Putin and his propaganda machine. How interesting. So in our case, it's the same. But I think, yeah, this serves as this sobering reminder that the alternative is that. The alternative is being mobilized into the Russian army. So, yeah. Again, not a secret to any of us who used to live in the occupied territories. I think I know several people, I'm just thinking, like from my year at school, or a little older, a little younger, who were recruited into the Russian army. Some of them voluntarily, some depends, and they were already killed, right, from my hometown in Crimea. So one even died at the Moskva, the cruiser, the flagship, the Russian Black Sea Fleet flagship, and that was interesting piece of information for me. It's like, wait, that's the guy from the class, like the other one in our parallel. Oh well. All right, that's someone from my year who died fighting for the Russian army. Not really fighting, drifting somewhere on the Moskva. Oh well. Yeah, that's the very bleak truth, unfortunately, the sad reality of stuff like this. Sorry, went on a little bit of a rant. You know how I do it. Thank you, Megan, for joining on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I try to make it entertaining, but sometimes, well, due to the nature of what we're talking about, yeah, we get a lot of the footage of explosions and stuff. So, and also, yeah, people looking very tense, like this guy, Captain from the National Guard, talking about the people getting drafted into the Russian army. All right, let's close this down. Let's take one. Okay, it's still very quiet. Yeah, I think it has to do with talks, everybody. The reason why the air raid alert map is so quiet is because of the talks. Okay, we'll see. Let's see what's happening at the front line, in particular the Pokrovsk situation. We had some more advancements made by the Russians in the recent couple of days. If you look to the north, right, to the north of Pokrovsk, you're seeing these arrows, right, and them getting longer. That's Russians attempting to close in the pockets that they have already formed, like we have discussed the last time, because this is their advancement strategy. They try to form these pockets and then close them down and turn them into cauldrons. So yeah, this is them attempting to close down this pocket. To the north of Pokrovsk, this is Donetsk Oblast, everybody. This is the east of Ukraine we're talking about, right? I know a lot of you have been wondering about Pokrovsk, so yeah, this is what it looks like. This is not a cauldron, contrary to popular belief. Cauldron looks like when it's completely surrounded, so thankfully it's not. But you can see, yeah, we have unfortunately the front line looking sort of similarly in this part as well, because again, right, this is just their main advancement strategy. This is what they do. Even people like me by this point understood this. This is yeah, this is what they do. This is how they're advancing. All right, okay. Do you still have your tinfoil hat? No, the tinfoil hat was lost to time, and yeah. I don't know where it went. I remember it getting dust. I think it probably. Oh, thank you, Matt. Hi, good to see you. Oh, this is this is an interesting guy. I'm like, this instead of the tinfoil hat. Yay! Thank you. I think what happened to the tinfoil hat, my educated guess, although I do not remember, I barely remember anything from 2022. It was probably sitting on my shelf collecting dust, and then one day I freaked out and I threw it away because it was all dusty and disgusting. And then I never made a new one, so because I wasn't really streaming, because I was miserable and pathetic. Do you think Trump's tariffs would do anything? Ideally, they should. Based on the reaction from Modi, I think the Indian Prime Minister, the fact that he's even willing to meet up with Xi and go to China, yeah, I think it's definitely going to cause some sort of disturbance. But it's very hard to say whether or not, like, it's hard to say what is the, when are we going to see the effect of it? And will we see the effect of it on the front line? Because to me personally, the only reason why it matters is I would like to see this affecting the Russian military machine, right? I would like to see the military-industrial complex being affected. I would like to see them having less money to pay to all these thousands of people, thank you, Poppy, that they're sending into battle every single day. Will this happen? I mean, in theory, it should be. India is buying a lot of the Russian oil. A lot of Russian oil. At the same time, is this something that could potentially, cripple the Russian war machine? It's really hard to say. Oh, TikTok wants, thank you. I'm not seeing your name because TikTok wants to, thank you. TikTok does its thing when it tries to log me off in the middle of the live. Hard to say. It has a lot of potential though. And I like how the Kremlin acting, going, even offering air truce. So it clearly, it's going to have some effect. But what kind of effect? We will have to witness in real time. When Trump says Ukrainian casualties are higher than their actually report, is that true? Well, of course. Of course it's true. No one is going to tell the exact losses during the times of war. This is like basic war science 101. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking the live, everybody. Thank you. Someone immediately tapped it. I see you. Anyway, unfortunately, thank you. This is how it's done in all wars, and this is what we have been doing too. This is not something that the Ukrainians have invented, but unfortunately, and it's to us it has been obvious. And I think I've told you before because we have. Thank you, Josh. Oh, this is adorable. I wish we were discussing something nicer, not the casualties. When we were. So in every town in Ukraine, we have, usually in the center of our towns, our cities, we have the memorials, right? So what does it look like? It's usually like a wall with pictures, like in our case, for instance. And when you do the basic math, when you just count, how many pictures we have in a town the size of ours, for instance, and how many towns of this size we have, and you do even the approximate figures, you immediately started to realize, okay, no, something is off. But it makes sense. You also know that, okay, yeah, of course they're lying about things because this is how things are done, unfortunately. So it's this very bizarre situation in which you are trying to find a balance between, being an attempted modern vibrant democracy and also fighting an existential war. And how do you do that, especially at the information age? We are the first ones to navigate it because, right, Russians do not have as much freedom as we do. They are an autocratic state, fully and utterly. So yeah, they can just simply close down this folder and say, it's okay, everyone's fine. The graves that you're noticing, they're not real. It's the American propaganda illusion, Soros provided, whatever, right? We cannot really do that. When he says Russian bomb an apartment building and they say only 5 people die. Yeah, that was weird when he said that. That was really weird when he said that because we talk about the Russian strikes on our apartment buildings a lot, right? I think almost every single live we talk about this. And I usually, whenever we discuss this, one thing that I always point out is that we do not know the casualties immediately because we only learn them learn the full extent after the rescuers are done with working through the debris. It usually takes about a day, depending on, you know, how big the damage is. For instance, if it's like the last time in Kiev, it took about 24 hours, I think, for them to get through the debris, and then you get the full number. So this is a bit different. I don't know, maybe Trump is confused or whatever. This is also very different. No one is hiding those numbers. No one is hiding the civilian casualties. I don't think so. It's slightly different. In the places that are often repeatedly targeted, people already have they have already developed a way to live with those, right? They go into the shelters, usually they go into the subway in Kiev, they go outside, right? So whenever there is a threat, if they know that, okay, there is a possibility that something might happen in our area, they go out of the building. So this is one of the reasons why the casualties are not as high as they could have been if the entire building just collapsed. But also, another thing to keep in mind is that this is not a carpet bombing. We still have our air defense, thankfully, intact. We have our planes. We have all of these systems defending the cities. If they were bombing us, why did I say it like this? Sorry. Indiscriminately bombing us from the airplanes, for instance, then of course it would have been the entire buildings destroyed, and, you know, there wouldn't be anywhere to run. But they cannot do it. Thank God for that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you. And Zelensky said Putin is scared of Trump. Do you think that's true? Recently, everyone has been on a roll with this whole who's gonna lick Trump's butt better. I think that's a part of that. But on a major scale, if we just take a step back, he's not scared of Trump. He's scared of the United States. I think there is a difference that we kind of recently started perhaps lose track of. They're not synonymous, right? The U.S. economy, the U.S. military machine, the U.S. global presence and the power that the U.S. has. Yeah, that's the stuff that I'm pretty sure they are scared of. I don't know if it's oh my God, I don't think it's that type of scare, but they're definitely considering this and keeping it in mind. It's just that what they're trying to do here is to see how much of this is the US willing to leverage over something as insignificant to the US as Ukraine. Right? That's the question here, because the priority, Ukraine is nowhere near at the top of the US priorities. As we have learned. We're not in the NATO, we're not the allies, we're not even like really that much of a significant partner. So this is what the Kremlin is trying to navigate here, right? How much can we actually, what can we do to distract them? What can we do to get their attention away? For them to kind of, step aside and not pay this much attention to Ukraine, because even as much attention as that were paid to us, it was already instrumental in our survival. So, all right. Okay, this was us looking briefly at Pokrovsk and Konstantinivka. I wanted to talk about something else about the front, and I have forgotten. Sorry, everybody. Went on several unrelated rants. Thank you, God. I was trying to answer the questions as I do, and then I forgot about everything. All right. And also, I need a sip of tea. Cheers, everybody. By the way, the dragon cup, huh? Do we like the dragon? Can we get some dragon appreciation? It's one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite cup, honestly. Although I have a feeling I have said that about 10 other cups at the very least. All right. Cheers. Cheers. Alrighty. Was there anything? Who's that? No, okay. This is just... I thought something horrible happened. No, okay. Well, he's alive. That's good. This is an official from Kherson who was injured in an attack. Okay, but he's alive. That's good. Zelensky. Okay, this is also Zelensky from Sumy. No, we're not gonna... No. Enough. No. This is, we've discussed Dnipropetrovsk, I believe. Again, Zelensky calling. Okay, and now everything's going to be full of Zelensky. First, we were waiting for him. Now we finally have received his little daily vlog, and now it's going to be everywhere because. Hello, Peace. Good to see you. Thank you, Colleen. I love this cup too. What a beautiful cup, huh, everybody? I know. Thank you. The dragon. Yay. I've missed a bunch of messages, as always. Do you think the killing will end soon? I'm afraid not. I'm sorry. I don't think it will. It would be wonderful if it did. It would be truly, truly incredible, but I don't think it will. Based on the signs on the front. I would be so happy if it did. I would be just relieved, and it would be amazing, and of course it would be wonderful, but I do not see the signs. Not really. I don't really see what's going to happen if the Russians decide to freeze the front. What's going to happen to them inside the country. Because they have already... So the snowballing effect that we have discussed, the unraveling their military capabilities, the recruiting more and more people, right, putting their economy on the just in a completely different, entirely ready for war mode. Like all of this is currently, it's just speeding up. What are they gonna do? This is definitely gonna speed up the collapse of the economy, considering how much money is being invested into the military-industrial complex, and then where is it all gonna go? Politically, what is gonna mean for the Kremlin if there is no war to fight? What are they gonna? I don't know. I do not really see that happening. But wouldn't it be wonderful? I know it would be incredible if it never happened. Honestly. Nick says the scariest thing about Trump is his insanity. And his swollen ankles, I would say. I was pretty disturbed by those when I saw that. Yeah, I honestly, whoever took that picture, when I find you, alright, everybody. Medvedev makes Trump angry. I don't think that was Medvedev, actually. I don't think it was his fault with the nuclear submarines, honestly. We've talked about this before. I think it was just used as an excuse. And also a lot of people immediately turned it into a meme, but there were also, before that, they have already moved the nuclear warheads to the UK. So yeah, there was definitely some movement in that regard before. Hacking of the Russian nuclear subs. I haven't heard about that, surprisingly. I'll have to learn more about that and get back to you. Have you noticed an increase in Russian bot accounts on TikTok? I haven't been posting in a while. I haven't really been posting much in terms of videos. I go live 3 times per week, right? But in the chat, we haven't seen too many trolls or anything like that. With the bot, where have I seen an increased bot activity? Well, Twitter, obviously, but Twitter is just a cesspool these days. It's a cesspool of propaganda and the Nazis and propaganda. And honestly, I started to give up. I remember, I think a month ago, I told you that I still have hope that maybe I can post on Twitter and we can find some, decent people there. But I think by this point in time, I've given up on. Because that's just, wow, that's like Hitlerjugend. I don't know what to do about that platform. We should just burn them all. On TikTok, though, in my feed, but I barely get any political videos in my feed. I get a lot of just nonsense, typical TikTok stuff. What brings me joy nowadays? That's a good question, Jojo, honestly. My dogs bring me joy. Okay, this is sad. I had the first, what was this? The zucchini today. Harvested my first zucchini of the season in August, which is awful. We should have had 30 zucchinis by now. But yeah, that did bring me joy, I think. Is Russia using more drones now? The couple days in the attacks, we forgot to look at the stats, everybody, which we usually do. Let's go to the official Telegram channel of the Ukrainian Air Force. So, okay, 45 drones. Prior to that, 47 drones, 163 drones, 53 drones. Wait, where's the Kinjali? When was the day with the Kinjali? Why am I not seeing it? Ah, was it back then? No. Huh. Wait, but there were additional Kinjali. Why am I not seeing it in the statistics? That's suspicious. That's weird. Okay. Are we only covering... Because I've already had beef with our Air Force's coverage. Thank you. Howdy, sailor. I've already had issues because they haven't been covering the frontline regions as much as I would like to see them covered, for instance, and also some of the types of, drones. But I'm not seeing 4 whole daggers in the statistics. Okay, anyway, to answer your question, less than before. Haven't seen, one was, what was this? The 4th. We have seen 163 drones on the 4th. But aside from that, yeah, it's been pretty mild. Odd, I was very happy about this one. No, I wish I didn't see them. Just something that I didn't need in my life. I don't think. Is it true that Russia is sending non-Russians to battle? Yeah, there has been a lot of the increasing recruitment campaigns in Africa, in India, in Laos, I think. Also in South America as well. And obviously they're also using a lot of their... Because I don't know, sometimes I'm confused about the definition, like Russian that you're using. Some people mean everyone in Russia when they're saying Russian. Some people only mean ethnically Russians, whatever that means. The white people of Russia, I guess. But they also have a lot of the native peoples of different regions, Yakuty, Buryati, and so on and so forth. They also use a lot of people from those regions. Here they're saying pes, tak, for dog. From my experience, at least, yeah. They're saying mostly, but our vet, I think, is saying sobaka. I have to listen more to how they talk here. North Koreans. Thank you, Furman. Yeah, I forgot about those. How dare I? How could I forget about the North Koreans? All right. I think I've had some other topics. I was pretty sure. Oh, there was a lot of Indians on Twitter were complaining about the tariffs on India, obviously, and the U.S. has lost India. Why are you buying so much Russian oil? Oh my god. There was also a very interesting... Thank you, Zoe. Something interesting... did we achieve the goal? Thank you. Yay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the support. I appreciate all of you. Truly. Mwah. Mwah. Okay. There was an interesting report from The Insider on the topic of the sanctions working. Wait. Can I find the exact article? Wait. So, we've already discussed that the Russian oligarchs and the Russian officials love France and Italy, right? In particular, they love northern Italy, they love the region of Tuscany, beautiful, picturesque region, very popular with tourists, and the region, the home to a lot of great kinds of wine, right? This is where they grow a lot of beautiful, beautiful grapes, and the Russian officials have a lot of properties in that region. Infamously, I think that's the correct word here. Medvedev, the alcoholic former Russian president, had a vineyard and a villa there, but so do a lot of other officials as well. And so this recent investigation by The Insider, which is this Russian opposition media outlet, revealed reveals that not only are these vineyards still functioning and selling their wines, they're also receiving some like tax breaks from the Italian government and some benefits from the Italian government. So yeah, this Chianti from Medvedev, Montepulciano from Yakunin, and Merlot from Mikhalkov, a short guide to the Italian wineries of the Putin elite. Members of the Kremlin elite, Putin's former KGB colleagues, the business partners, still own luxury wineries and more than 2,000 hectares of land in Italy. Despite the support of the Russian aggression against Ukraine and the benefits of state corruption, most of them did not fall under international sanctions, and their wineries over the past 10 years have received more than €1 million in subsidies from the European Union. When I read this, the range of emotions. Thankfully, I read it several days ago. But perhaps you could have heard my eternal scream, even in the, somewhere in Louisiana or California or, I don't know, anywhere. In the Samoa Islands, probably you could hear my scream. But yeah. So it's a wonderful article. I will link it in the YouTube chat, I think. I will try at least so that you guys could check it out. It's incredible, everything about it. And there is an English version to the website as well. Let me go to the YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, this is your sign to go to YouTube and see the article. Wait, I cannot paste it. Can I? Let me try. Yes, I think it should be working. So yeah, check it out, everybody. If you would like to learn if the Italian wine you're buying actually makes money for the Russian government. Okay, to be fair to all of these people involved, if they are sanctioned, because some of them are sanctioned, they do not have a way to access this money in theory. But if they're not sanctioned, that's like, yay! What a beautiful life. Siesta, everybody. I know. So whenever you ask yourselves, how are the sanctions doing? How are the limitations on the Russian officials doing? €1 million in subsidies for the wineries of the close friends and affiliates of Putin. Oh well. Megan says, I wonder what that noise is. That was me going, but louder. Yeah, I know. Alright. Just incredible stuff, everybody. Okay. Aside from that, I think I did talk about the majority of the... Okay, and the little follow-up to that, after this investigation, there was a request in the Italian parliament to conduct an investigation, but yeah, for now this is it. Because it's Italy. Oh yeah, they're gonna make a request, alright. They're gonna make such a big request. No, we had a strike in Sumy. What happened? Explosions happening in Sumy, everyone. What happened? Where is Suspilna Sumy? Why do I not have it? Okay, well, we will learn later, I'm afraid, what actually happened. Come to Brazil. Oh, thank you, dear. I would love to, but probably not in this lifetime, I'm afraid. Alright, everybody. If you have any questions, any concerns, any wishes, anything you would like to discuss, please let me know. In the meantime, I'm gonna do a little ad. An ad? What? Who is the ad gonna be for? Soros? The Biolabs? The CIA? No. My Patreon. Look at my thumbnail game, everybody. Yes, we have a Patreon, and thank you, by the way, to those of you who are on there. Thanks to the Patreon, we keep going. Thanks to your support and to the Patreon as well. And recently, as a thank you, I have posted a 30-minute crash out yelling about the Ukrainian government. So if this is something that you would be interested in, please check it out. The link is in the bio. And also please check out my thumbnail game. Wonderful. Look at this. Look at this. I think it's getting better. I used to use too much of different elements and too many, fonts and stuff. I think recently it has been more stylish and kind of close to the point, but still a little bit absurd. So anyway, here's that was the ad. Anywho, okay, everyone, let me know if there's anything we haven't covered yet. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you so much. What do you think of President Trump? Not a fan. Not at all. Never have been a fan. Never will be a fan. So I used to be much more diplomatic. I know. Recently, I haven't been. So it's kind of. I don't think it's my fault though, because I still sometimes wonder how this happened. For the second time in a row. So no, I'm not a fan. They must be using front company owner name, so that's why EU probably has no clue. Could be that, and also could be the fact that it's Italy and they cannot be bothered. So the Russian connections in Italy go heavily through the infamous, now late, Silvio Berlusconi, close friend of Putin. Oops, sorry, hit the mic. The former Prime Minister of Italy. Oh, I misspelled his name. This is, look at this beautiful, beautiful face. That was Uncle Silvio, a pretty despised figure in Italy, very controversial dude, and this is him and Putin. Let me show you. Look at them. That was the love affair for ages. That was the soulmate level connection. This is them having snacks. This is them hanging out. This is them skiing together. So the Russian infiltration into European countries usually starts from the head, right? So in Europe in particular, it's the names like Berlusconi. In Italy, in Germany, it was Schröder. In France, there were some shady doings with Sarkozy. It goes pretty high in the hierarchy, unfortunately. And there were also some interesting instances of Russian connections with the Italian mafia. Back in 2022, for instance, they tried to import artillery through an Italian port, Gioia Tauro, it's in Calabria, and Calabria it's a beautiful region, beautiful beaches. I love Calabria to bits, but it also has 'Ndrangheta, which is the name for the local mafia, and apparently it's also working like this with the Kremlin, or whatever, some of their networks. What do you know? So there are layers, everybody. There are layers to these connections and the infiltration. It has been ongoing. It didn't just, materialize. They didn't just randomly end up in this region of Italy because, it's a beautiful region, and like a normal person would think, oh, of course it's beautiful, it's nice, I would love to end up there. There were also some promises, and there was a foundation of sorts that promised them that their stay there is going to be pleasant and thank you, Maddie. Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Really, really. I truly do. Okay, that was on Silvio. Those of you who are on YouTube, are you seeing? Is this them dancing? They're dancing by the looks of it. The day Silvio died, part of Putin died with him. Unfortunately, not all of Putin, but part of him most definitely. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Oh, this is them looking at the book. Look how happy they are. Oh, I have never seen Putin that happy around anyone. None of his women, none of his men, Medvedev, his children, no one. When he's kissing little boys, there's a bunch of very creepy images like that. Never that man has been as happy as he is with Silvio staring at some book or whatever. Yeah. I know. Gazing into each other's eyes, right? Exactly. And it just keeps going, right? It's talking about something. At a villa in Italy, Berlusconi is very Italian, gesturing. And look who's here with them! It's George W. Bush! I know. It's honestly looks like a different era, like a parallel universe. Honestly, it feels like it's been a million years ago. But yeah, in a way, it has been a million years because it's 2002. Oh boy. He needs to retire and marry him. Unfortunately, he can't. Silvio passed. And real Putin probably also passed. But that's just our conspiracies, everybody. I know, those were the days. Those were the days, my friend. Alright, everybody. I know, I look very good for 74. Thank you for noticing. We had Russian oligarchs trying to buy fancy rifles from the US in 2000. Yeah, sounds about right. Not surprised at all, honestly. Fancy rifles, fancy anything, honestly. I think one of the worst things... Thank you. One of the worst things that they have done, I remember reading, so their attempts to infiltrate the American industry were not as successful as with the European one. I think there are reasons for that. Understandable reasons, I think, mainly because, well, for instance, why was Germany so easy to interfere? Because it was partially occupied, because a part of it was occupied after the World War II, so, you know. Italy has history of corruption and mafia. With France, the influence is nowhere near the levels of Germany and Italy, but also, yeah, Sarkozy was quite a character. Anyway, in the US, they tried to interfere as well. They tried to purchase several factories. I remember there was something that had to do with steel in Baltimore, I believe. So, yeah, there were a lot of shady doings like that, which was worse than the rifles, if you ask me. But yeah, I know. I think we've all lived at least 3 different lifetimes I know, right? Since 2022, right? And that picture was from 2002. That's like a million different lifetimes. I know. Oh, God. All right. So, a couple more quick looks on Silvio and Putin. Honestly, I cannot believe this was real. Yeah. I know, everybody. This is them with their beards. Okay, I'm sorry, with their wives, I mean. Okay, that's enough. It must have been love, but it's over now. Thank you, Zoe. You guys are spoiling me today. We admit the goal. Yee. Thank you. They come as investors, right? Especially these days with the golden visas. Wouldn't that be... Well, what an interesting thing to do, huh? I'm sure none of these oligarchs would use this for their gain. Okay. Oh well. No, sorry, the pictures are YouTube only. You can always join us on YouTube and see a bunch of stuff. That's the beauty of our YouTube live stream. It's linked in the bio, okay? And these days, whenever I go live, I'm also live on YouTube, everyone. So check it out if you're interested. Right? Yeah, this is one of the popular theories about him. I don't know if we can actually blame it all, on some internalized homophobia, whatever, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of issues in that little bald head of his. Okay, everybody, on this wonderful note regarding Putin's internalized homophobia, I think I will be wrapping it up. Wait, Joan says, you seem to be uncomfortable today. Oh, Josh has got to run. I'll see you soon, Josh. Thank you for joining. I'll see you Friday, hopefully. Okay? I don't think I am uncomfortable today. Am I uncomfortable? Thank you, Cobra-san. No. I'm actually very chill. And I've been having a lot of fun on a stream, so no, I'm fine. I really liked talking about Silvio and Putin, so... Nah, you haven't seen me uncomfortable. But yeah, there were times, everybody. No, this is a bad story. I'm not gonna tell this story now. That's a bad idea. Anyway. Alright, you guys. A reminder, these days we're going live 3 times a week, ideally, but if something goes wrong, the blackouts, dogs freaking out, me feeling bad, whatever, I let you all know on my Instagram. My Instagram is linked in my bio, right? On my Instagram story, I always let you know about an hour before the live stream whether or not it's going to happen or not. So please follow me on there if you would like to see that, or the dogs, or other weird stuff, occasional memes. Please also follow me on YouTube. YouTube has proven scientifically to be much better at sending out the notifications. So if you hit the bell, you might actually receive something. TikTok doesn't send any notifications whatsoever because it hates us. So that's the short answer. So yeah, the next live is, I'm currently planning to have it on Friday. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I will see you all on Friday, okay? Thank you, Colleen. Exactly. I am much happier today. I know. Sometimes I'm just very, very sad, and today I was upbeat and happy to talk about Silvio and Putin and, the rest of them. And Donald, even. I don't know. I don't know which one is worse, honestly. Anyway, thank you everybody so much. Thank you for the support, as always. And I will see you all on Friday. Some people are just joining. Maybe it's the pollen. I know, it could be. It could be, now that I think of it. Anyway, thank you everyone. I'll see you Friday, alright? Take care, stay safe, stay sane, and I will see you soon. Follow me on YouTube. Hit that bell. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Alright, and now to you people. Thank you too, as always, for watching. We have looked at some wonderful stuff today together. Some not so wonderful, some pretty awful. But yeah, I will also see you all on Friday. Bye-bye. Bye, Colleen, and bye, Thomas, and bye to all of you. See you Friday, okay? Hit that bell, and you know the drill. You guys, you already know. Mwah. Bye-bye, everyone. Okay. Mwah.